In this video, I want to show you one other command that comes up quite often, kind of often, which is git stash. Git stash is a command to stash your changes. It's basically meaning temporarily put them somewhere else, so you can switch branches and work on something else and come back to it, or you stash it on the side and switch branch, and you get the whatever you stashed, put it on your new branch. And I just want to quickly show you that. So sometimes you're working on this branch, so I'm going to use the same project we used earlier. All I have to do is stashes everything local. I'm going to show you everything on the local. So let's see, if I do git status, there are no changes. If I do git branch, I'm on this quick fix branch. Let me make a change. Let's say I'm going to just put triple exclamation marks, right? If I do git status now, I can see this is changed. One thing you can do, if you want to just get rid of a change, you can actually check out. You take the file name, the full path, and you can let me clear. You can do git check out the file name. Remember, I made this change, right? I hit enter, and it will revert it to the last change. Whatever changes I made before I committed, it will change it back. Let me just duplicate this, duplicate that, which is an error, right? If I do git diff, it shows me what changes I've made. This is a new line, this is a new line, right? I'm like, oh, I don't want this, I want to get rid of it. So I can do git status. I can see what is changed. Then I can do git checkout and get rid of it. Okay, that's one way to just get rid of your changes, all your changes at once. But what I want to show you is stash. So what happens is when you want to switch a branch, right now, let's say I make a change, I duplicate this, and I'm working on this, right? I'm working on this file, on this branch, I'm working on this project. All of a sudden, I need to work on another project, a quick fix or something like that, and I want to come back to this. Sometimes it won't let you switch branch. For some reason, right now it is letting me. I guess it depends on the situation. Right now, if I do git status, there are some changes, right? If I do git checkout main, no issues. It let me go. It let me switch. I'm going to switch back. Git branch, git branch, git checkout. I'm going to switch back to my branch. But a lot of times it won't let you, and it will tell you either stash your code or commit your code. That's what it will tell you. So stash just means you just put it aside. So right now, if we have git status, you can see there is this file that is modified. I can stash it. To see if you have any stashes before, you can do git stash list. Hit enter. There's nothing stashed. Okay, I'm going to do git stash. Now I just stashed it. If I do git stash list, it will show me I have one stash slash. You can think of a stash like on the side. I just put it aside. Okay. If I do git status, it says no changes because I already stashed my changes. Now I can switch a branch, go to another branch, do it, whatever I need to do, work finish, and I want to continue to come back here. I can switch back to this branch, and I can apply the stash, whatever I stashed, I can apply it. Or all these changes I'm making right now, I was making them on this branch, right? I'm like, oops, I shouldn't be making this on this branch. I want to actually do it on a different branch. So then I can switch a branch and then apply the stash. So I would stash it first, switch a branch, and apply the stash. So right now, if I do git status again, there's nothing there. If I do git branch, you see I'm on this branch. I'm going to switch branches. Clear, git branch. Let's say I actually want to be working on this branch. So I'm going to do git checkout my first branch. Okay, if I do git status, there's nothing there. If I do git stash, git stash list. Oh, I have one that is stashed. So I want to apply. So I can say git stash apply. If I just do git stash apply, it would apply the first one because there might be multiple stashes. But if I want to just give it this, I can give it this whole thing, or I can just say 0, apply 0. It would apply that change. Now, as you can see, this home, whatever I changed earlier, the duplicate, I duplicated this. Now this is applied to my current branch. It's not committed yet, then I would have to commit. Let me make more changes. I can say I can add another one that says h2, and I can say welcome. So if I do get status is there. Let me create another file. I can touch food.txt, get add food.txt, get status. Now I have two files. One is a new one is just modified. Okay. Now I can stash this. Like, let's say I want to go to another branch because I don't want to keep working on here temporarily. I want to put it aside. I can do get stash. And now if I do get stash list, I can see we have both of those. And I can now, if I do get status, nothing is there. So that's what get stash is. There are other commands. Instead of get stash apply, I can do pop, and I can say, let's say I want to apply 1. Right? The difference is if I do get stash list, one of them is deleted. So when you do a get a stash apply, it doesn't delete the stash. It will take the stash and apply it, but the old stash is still there. If you do get stash pop, it will apply it and delete the old one. So usually you want to do pop. So I don't want to get too much into get stash. There's a lot of different commands. In fact, when I look at my notes, there is get stash apply, pop. We saw that. Push. You can add a message. If we do get stash here, when you have too many of them, it's kind of hard to know which one is what. So you can add a message to it. So when the time comes, you don't really have to worry about it. But if you run into a situation, then you can look up stash by itself. You can do a tutorial on stash by itself. A lot of this thing, that's how it works. You don't really have to look it up until you need it. But when you need it, you learn it. Otherwise, it's just a lot of stuff. So I just want to bring up the stash because a lot of times you get an error saying, hey, either stash your code or commit your code. And I want to show you what a stash means. This was simple. If that was too fast and you didn't understand it, it's okay. Just skip it. And when the issue arises, then you look at stash. At least now you have an idea of there is such a thing called stash. And at least you know what stash is. You just put it aside. All right. That's all I got for you on this one.